Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'll be talking about how was my experience of getting to charge my BYD Atto 3 at a very popular Australian tourist spot which is called Noosa Heads. So Noosa Heads is located in Sunshine Coast, which is a very popular hotspot, and it does offer a couple of locations which we prefer to go to. But Noosa is quite special because it does have quite a scenic, I think, coastline as well as other activities that you can do. But the only problem was that it's a bit further from the city, as well as it didn't offer any charges when we last visited. But I think a lot has changed since then because when we came to this town earlier, this wasn't as populated, or the tourists were not enough in winter season. Like summers were quite popular, but winter was quite calm, and there were less people around. But this time it was quite packed. The cafes that were open earlier up to 5 p.m. now are open until 9, which is good for us. But I think coming back to the charging infrastructure, right now I found one charger which is right behind me over there. The network that this one works on is called Charge Now. This is the first time I've seen it. So the way it works is like you can scan the barcode right over there, and then you follow the instructions of the page. You have to create a new account, unfortunately. So of course it doesn't work with any other of your accounts, which is quite normal with these third-party charges. Although this was quite straightforward, you just need to input your card details as well as create an account. As you can see, it just offered two connections. One is CCS2, which is supported by Tesla as well as BYD. The other one is Chadmo, and they're both 50 kilowatts. And this is a DC charger, which means it does charge at a quicker rate than Type 2 cable, which I discussed in my last video. But saying that 50 kilowatts is plenty fast enough for us to charge casually. And for BYD, the max charge rate is around, I think, 80 kilowatt. Either way, I haven't seen it go beyond that. So 50 kilowatt charger is enough. And especially if it's in a convenient location. Noosa is not such a big town, so the problem with this one is, like, although it's located in a outside parking lot of a resort, but the thing is some charges are located inside the resort, and hence they're only there to be used by the guests who are staying in that particular location. So now let's quickly see how much charge did we get in last 10 minutes, and is it enough for us to just move forward, and how do we stop the charging now, and how much were we charged for the session. So I started the charging a bit below 60%. Right now I'm sitting at 77%, and as you can see, the charge rate is 46.4 kilowatt hour at this stage, which is not bad given that max capacity is 50 kilowatt hour. So let's just go ahead and stop the charging now, because 77% is, I think, enough for me. So to stop the charging, let's go back to the app that we used, and for whatever reason it's not showing me how much it's gonna cost us. But as you can see, we've been here for 17 minutes, and we got the notification of stop charging from there as well. So in 18 minutes we were able to charge 13.81 kilowatt hour, and it costed around $7. So which is not bad given that it's not something which I do very often. Now all we need to do is take care of this cable and put it back. And as you can see or hear, a lot of noise coming out of this charger, which is just to keep it cool, because I believe when there's a lot of current that passes through these systems, they can get quite hot, and this is just a ventilation system to keep it cool and normal in these temperatures, and that's quite normal with these high power fast chargers. So overall my experience with this charger was quite good, and it did have all the buttons that we need, because last experience with the EV charger wasn't as good because they didn't have a stop button on there, which means if I have to stop charging, I literally had to call them, because the app was at giving some error during my charging, and which wasn't allowing me to, there's no stop button. So if the charging is not stopped, BYD car doesn't actually allow you to pull out the charger. With Tesla, you have an option to go inside the charger and say that you finished charging, but with BYD that wasn't the case, so that was quite weird and odd. But with this, you have a start and stop button, which allows you to just plug in and plug off the charger whenever you need. So hence, overall, I think I'm quite satisfied with my charging session, and this is a place which you can visit. I believe 50 cents per kilowatt hour is the charge rate that they are charging you for, and which is not the best, but it's certainly not the worst, because with Teslas, if you're charging any other cars, it's way above that. Even when I'm charging my Tesla on a supercharger, I think, although it fluctuates, but usually in busy times or in daytime, it's around 60 cents per kilowatt hour, which means this is still cheaper. Well, that's it for my quick experience of charging my car at Noosa, and thanks a lot for watching the video until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.